Well, I guess it starts from the fact that men need this. And I feel for men. I feel for us as men, all of us. Men are lonely. Men are lonely. That's I judge men are lonely. The idea of the new warrior is pretty important, because the old warrior thing is exhausted. It's largely played out. But there's got to be a place for these energies, these skills, these things that we are.
My name is Jeff Lawton, animal name Eagle Rising.
My name is Aaron Marshall, animal name is White Rabbit Mountain Lion.
Aaron Robinson, Standing Bear.
I'm Jude Harrison. My animal name is Tenacious Tiger.
Flowing River.
Chosen name is Standing Tall.
Proud Papa Brown Bear.
Skunk.
Great Horned Owl.
Passionate Stag.
Loping Llama.
Lionheart.
Sun Bear.
Heartful Jaguar. Let's see. So my name is Michelangelo Stancampiano. My mountain...
You know, to me, the idea of the mask is pretty central. People talk about personality all the time, and something happens. They say, well, that's me. That's my personality. Well, I've learned that the word personality comes from a Greek word, persona, and it means mask. So it says, oh, this is my person. You know, this is my personality. It's like, yeah, but that's not you. There's a person, and then there's a personality. There's the mask. And what does the mask do? The mask covers up the parts of me. I use it to cover up the parts of me that I'm afraid are not going to fly. They're going to get me in trouble. They're going to get me rejected. They're going to get me not loved. They're going to get me made fun of. They're going to get me something.
For me, the mask has always been, what do I want other people to see in me? Who do I want people to think I am that's not really me? And I think the mask, attributes of the mask were, I wanted people to see somebody who was a decision maker, confident, always had answers to questions, always knew what he was doing, smart, and that's all kind of baloney.
We weren't supposed to have feelings. That's what I was taught growing up. Big boys don't cry. Suck it up. It's just a little bit of pain. So not really in touch with here. And coming out of the weekend going, oh, wow, I just had 70 men tell me it's okay to have feelings and to express them.
Because it is such a deeply ingrained pattern. Wow, is that mask on right now? Am I wearing it right now? Am I trying to show something that's not authentic, that's not real? What I noticed before I did the weekend was that the mask I wore, as much as I possibly could, was the happy mask. Everything's fine. Life's great. There's no problem.
The mask is about survival. The mask is about, here's the way I've learned to be successful in the world, for anybody, men or women. And the man's mask, women could talk poignantly about how they're supposed to be. We've got our own version.
Oh my God, I'm in trouble, or I'm not in the majority opinion here, or whatever has dived me down into my hiding mask, where there's nobody home. It's just a mask with no light in the eyes.
An experience of seeing that there is such a thing as a mask. Maybe they didn't even know until they saw someone take it off. And then they saw another man take it off. And then they saw a third man take it off. And they say, I don't want to keep wearing this thing. Maybe I could take a chance.
was a process where, I really had to get in touch with an old memory, of things that happened when I was younger, and it was around my dad. I remember the trainer, I was talking about my relationship with my wife and my daughter, and it was primarily my wife, and he said, kind of, came by and said into my ear, "How long do you think this relationship's gonna last?" And it was like, whoa, And I realized, without even, thinking it was unconscious, that I was always poised 1 foot toward the door. If there ever came a time when it was too much, or I just, I'm not gonna put up with this anymore, whatever the story, just like my dad, I could leave. And the turning point for me was that door was gone when I came back from my weekend.
The night that I came home, I remember my wife Cheryl telling me that my eyes had changed color.
I swear to God, his eyes were a different color. Yeah, when he left, they were hazel, and when he came back, they were blue. They were a blue that I've never seen on him. It was the weirdest thing. So clearly, I chalk that up to something as a soul change. With the eyes being like the windows to the soul. I think that his windows were cleaned.
I'm holding 2 oranges, and what I got for my weekend is I got my balls back. And one thing that I remember from my welcome home, talking about my weekend, is I really learned about what anger is for me, and how to express that, and how to be in that, and how that's okay.
There were definitely issues that different parts of the weekend really brought, right there. And a few of those were really, really difficult for me to do. And opportunities that the weekend presented to move through them, those were pretty challenging. And really brought me up against my shadow. And up to that point, I didn't have a whole lot of idea about what my shadows were. So I think, like anybody, when you're first confronting your shadow stuff, that was like what the fuck? And I didn't want to have it be done in public, and so that was also challenging for me, was having to learn how to trust a group of men, that I could be that real, that raw, and that vulnerable. And of course, that turned out to be the biggest blessing of the entire weekend, was trusting those men, that I still do.
I've been searching for things to help me heal from physical abuse as an infant and sexual abuse as an adolescent. When I got introduced to ManKind Project and attended a circle, I was absolutely amazed and stunned to watch and listen to men share their deepest fears, their deepest feelings, and be supported, be loved, never ridiculed. It was an incredible experience for me and allowed me to heal. And I realized here I could speak everything on my mind, my greatest fears. And I learned by speaking I could heal. And as I healed, and I did in ManKind, I realized I could help other people heal. And ManKind was supportive. And I now have a nonprofit called Resilient People, where I speak on abuse at as many venues as I can. ManKind enabled me to do that. I had to do the work. It was challenging at times, but it was always loving. It was always supportive. It was truly a gift in my life.
All the feelings that's out here, everything that's going on in like a surface level, everything is gone. And then the deepest part of Ken, deepest part of me, can actually shine, that I can actually go to the world and then find out what I'm actually supposed to give, like what my true purpose really is.
I have a purpose in this world, and that's a wonderful thing to remember. I've got 3 beautiful boys who mean the world to me.
He's changed a lot. He has become more patient. Before he was pretty impatient and yelled sometimes after we did something.
They are a big part of why I do what I do, including being part of the ManKind project and remembering that my relationship with them is important to me.
Now he comes and he talks to us, and he just is there for us a lot.
He just seems more willing to be accountable, more open to feedback, which is really valuable in a marriage that when it goes both ways. The weekend cracked him open in a way that I'd never seen before. I just don't think men in our culture are encouraged to be vulnerable or to come from their heart and really feel their heart. And he came home just all heart.
A deeply heartfelt, committed, integrous man who is also just an exceptional father.
Is just courage. My dad has courage in a way that I've never sort of experienced it before. He has courage to be present in his life, to face his past in a way that I don't think I've known him to face. And the openness and the dialogue that we've had around that, I think, is in part due to the courage he's found as part of, the ManKind project.
Biggest part for me that I saw change in him and what totally shifted our marital dynamic is that he is not afraid of his fear anymore. It's there, but he's not afraid to express his fear.
Good question. So what's the deal with ManKind Project? It helps me and other men wake up, grow up, show up.
I show up on a Wednesday night to a safe place where I can be real about whatever is going on in my life and tell the truth about the areas of my life that I need to adjust so that I can be sure I'm living in integrity.
Sitting in circle is so beautiful. I never thought I would be doing something like this with a bunch of other men without alcohol or some other substance involved. Just sitting and talking and opening up to what's going on in my life and everybody else's life and enjoying it. Deeply enjoying that process.
When I wrap up in a circle, I embrace my brothers. We have a let go, and I walk out of there just absolutely high.
I got me back. I got Angelo. I got to remember who I am. I got to remember who I am, and I got to help other men do the same. That's my biggest takeaway. That's what this work is all about to me, is to remember who I truly am, as a man among men, who I truly am.
As a man among men, I create and source a world full of community and connection by being authentic and vulnerable.
As a man among men, I live with passion and integrity and true to my purpose.
As a man among men, I am more connected by being more vulnerable.
As a man among men, I yearn to connect to those I love and to be seen as my true self.
As a man among men, I lead by living with integrity.
As a man amongst men, I change my community and my family through looking within and listening.
As a man amongst men, I trust and connect.
Oh, I got this. As a man among men, I'm a leader. And my mission is to create a world of hope through vision, compassion, and empathy.
Stellar. I'm on board.
As a man amongst men, I want to be me. Accept myself, who I am, which allows me to accept and love other men and other people without questioning or doubting or justifying, but simple acceptance.